I'm Alex Linsday. My partner is Jake Shattuck, and this is our GPS data logger project for our Advanced Motorsport Instrumentation class at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. The goal of this class was to learn about how motorsports teams gather and analyze data about their cars and the various sensors they use. This final project was to do the same to ourselves. In this project, we were tasked with building a logger to gather and analyze GPS data from driving our own cars. We used the Raspberry Pi 4 with a case and a Stratix VK162 GPS module. In addition, we used a 16GB microSD card, a USB Type-C power cord, a micro HDMI to HDMI cord, a keyboard, and a computer monitor to set up the program. The tests were performed by plugging the antenna and keyboard into the Raspberry Pi, and then plugging the Raspberry Pi into a USB port in the cars we were using. We would wait for the Raspberry Pi to turn on, and then type out commands to start the Python script on the keyboard before we started driving. We encountered several problems during this project. Initially, we tried to develop our own Python script to log data, but we were unsuccessful, so we switched to the code that our professor provided to the class. Using this code, we then encountered problems with our antenna and needed to source another one. We got a second one in, but that one also broke during testing, and we did not have time to secure a third one before the due date. Here are portions of data files that we collected during our testing phase. On the left, the GPS logger only recorded one data point once it was fully initialized, and wrote that same data point continuously. While waiting for the second antenna, we consulted with another classmate and we found out that this was the result of the antenna not being plugged into the right USB port. In the middle is a snapshot of data where the antenna was activated by the Raspberry Pi, but did not collect any data from the GPS satellites. And on the right is a snapshot of the file generated by the program when the antenna was unable to be activated and thus had no data stream at all. The first antenna progressed through these three stages of poor data as testing went on and so was replaced. But the second antenna only output one file like the example in the middle before failing. A third antenna was ordered, but we did not receive it in time to complete testing. Unfortunately, without any collected data, we could not perform any analysis or mapping. If we had good data, we would have made maps of our routes by plotting latitude versus longitude and overlaying those plots on satellite images or road maps. We also would have been able to analyze our speed, acceleration, braking, and cornering forces at each data point and attach those to our plots. In motorsports, instead of using satellite imagery, they can use scan data of the tracks that they drive on, and that results in more in-depth analyses from a variety of sensors to compile a complete image of what the car is doing on the track.